Sarnia's Mayor Mike Bradley, who joins me now. Mayor Bradley, good to have you as always.
Thank you, Angie.
Your thoughts here. We heard just a few days ago that Canada will be opening up its border to fully vaccinated Americans, but on the U.S. side, that's not going to be happening anytime soon.
Well, that was a surprise after Monday when the government announced they were moving forward with allowing vaccinated Americans in. I would say most border city mayors that I'm dealing with were pleased with that, knowing vaccinated people coming in. And we expected, and we were stunned, and we were told on Monday by the Border Security Minister, Bill Blair, that he didn't think the Americans were going to reciprocate. And, put this in context. We went into this shutdown together, and we did it for the right reasons. And now we're in this situation, and I'm hearing it from my constituents, oh, Americans can come in, but we can't go there. Where's the fairness?
And the other point to that is, as you also pointed out there, the hope was that conversations were happening between both sides where there could be a consensus decision made on what needs to be done with the Canada-U.S. border, and clearly it doesn't appear to have happened. Did Canada jump the gun on this?
That's hard now, looking back, not to think that was the case. And I don't accept what the Prime Minister is saying is that, oh, well, it's their decision. Yes, it is, just like we make lots of decisions. That doesn't stop governments from trying to overturn or change those decisions. And this is very, very important, because when you're trying to bring people back into this world of reality we want to go to and functioning, we're having a double standard as it relates to the relationship between our two countries. And if you look at the history so far with the Trudeau government and the Biden administration, after 4 years of what we went through with Trump, we thought we were going to a better day. But if you look at Line 5, you look at this issue, we're not getting the cooperation and response you would think, and the respect that you would think would happen between two large trading partners.
How is or what's the reaction to your constituents, to the residents that are there? We know, of course, Sarnia is connected through Port Huron, through the border crossing. What's the reaction being? What are you hearing?
Well, it's, I think, reflected in the national polls. 50% of the public seem okay with the border being closed, period. And they don't want Americans coming in, vaccinated or not. But those others that want to unite with family and friends in the United States are very upset, because I think, again, we all expected, to be a bilateral announcement that we're going to move together, and that, whatever is going to occur, it will be jointly. Now, the only hope, and it was indicated earlier in your report there, that, we're not going to allow people until the 9th from the United States, and that gives the Americans time to prepare. And hopefully, when we get to the third week in August, they will then announce they're going to match what we have done, allowing vaccinated people into the country.
Considering the caseloads that we're seeing in the United States, not comparable to what we are seeing here, are you concerned with Americans coming into Canada?
Well, naturally, and that seems to be what's throwing this debate off the rails, is that we're talking about vaccinated people, people that should be able to handle any form of the variant that comes along, just as we expect it in our society. So I think the fact that they're vaccinated and coming here, we're relatively safe, and the same would apply the other way. But yes, and also I should say that the announcement the other day by the Canadian government was very conditional. Minister Blair made it clear, if this doesn't go our way in this direction or in other directions that relates to the variant, and it's very severe, then everything's off the table with reopening the U.S. border.
So before I let you go, Mayor Bradley, what are you going to be keeping a close eye on now? I guess, it'll really be over the next few weeks.
Well, I'll be talking to border city mayors to say we should be asking the federal government to deal with the Americans and try to get a reciprocal announcement made at the end of August. I also think we'll be watching the variant and hoping that we are wrong, that it's not going to have that fourth wave impact on us. But we are, in my own community, we're over 70% vaccinated. So we can handle having people come in here who are fully vaccinated too.
I want to touch on that point that you just made there, saying that, now correct me, you said over 70% are fully vaccinated in your region.
Yes.
So that's huge. And those are big numbers that we're really trying to sort of move towards when we're looking at overall vaccination rates within provinces as well as within the country. So the headway that we're making here and sort of seeing where things are in terms of the border, I also want to get your take then if people are flying in to Canada, what your take is on that, because we would be looking to welcome foreign travelers into the country who are fully vaccinated come September.
Well, that's, again, the conditions the Fed's put on this, that if things go off the rails, that may not be happening. I'm also pleased, I have to say, the quarantine rules going away in September, because they were becoming an impediment, and they were a financial impediment, they were an emotional impediment. But, all this is, you need to be a psychic to try to figure out what's going to happen next. We did see the opening to the Americans as good. We just wanted it reciprocal. And now we're just going to monitor what's going to happen with the variant. And is that going to have an impact on us as a country? And then we'll deal with the issue of what happens with the Americans coming in.
Yeah, no, exactly. But of sort of looking for that uniform consensus, those uniform rules, so that everyone knows exactly what they need to be doing.